Have you ever been there?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like 11 p.m. Huge report due tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
And you've spent the entire evening doing, well, anything else, right? Alphabetizing the spice rack?
Or suddenly becoming an expert on Arctic tern migration patterns.
Exactly. And now you're just wired on caffeine and pure adrenaline,
Yeah.
diving in, telling yourself, oh, I just work better under pressure.
Right. That old line.
But here's a question we really want to dig into today. Is that frantic rush, is it really a productivity superpower? Or is it maybe more like a distress signal?
A distress signal. I like that.
Welcome to The Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling what our source material calls last-minute panic, basically, the most dramatic symptom of procrastination.
Yeah, it's the big one.
So our mission here is to kind of journey into the psychology behind this hurry sickness, figure out why our brains seem hardwired with a panic button, and crucially, arm you with some practical, science-backed ways to swap that panic for, calm, steady progress.
Moving from just surviving deadlines to actually mastering them.
Exactly. And we're going deep into the insights from the materials you've provided, especially pulling from Defeating Last-Minute Panic, Strategies for Calm Productivity, which is part of the Procrastination Paradox series.
That's right. And, as that series really hammers home, procrastination, it's usually not about being lazy. It's a much more complex emotional thing.
An emotional thing, not just time management.
Precisely. So yeah, this deep dive, we're going beyond the surface stuff, looking at the deeper currents, the real psychological roots.
Okay, let's unpack that then. This modern pressure, this panic, where does it even come from? Is it new?
Well, putting things off certainly isn't new.
Right. I saw that the ancient Greeks had a word for it, akrasia.
Akrasia, exactly. Acting against your own better judgment. So humans dragging their feet, that's ancient history.
Okay. But this panic-driven thing, the frantic rush, that feels more modern.
It is. It's much more tied into cultural shifts in the 20th century.
How so?
Well, the story of hurry sickness actually starts, interestingly, with cardiologists back in the 1950s. Meyer Friedman and Ray Rosenman.
Cardiologists, not psychologists.
Nope. They noticed something odd in their waiting rooms. The front edges of the chairs, completely worn out.
Worn out. Why?
Because their patients weren't sitting back relaxing. They were literally on the edge of their seats, anxious, eager to get going,
Wow. Okay.
And this observation led them to identify the type A personality, ambitious, competitive, always feeling that time pressure. And they coined the term hurry sickness.
Hurry sickness, that nails it.
It really does describe that frantic feeling, doesn't it? And then, of course, technology just poured gasoline on the fire. Email, smartphones, the 204/7 work cycle.
Right, the pressure just ramped up.
Exploded, work and rest blurred, and suddenly it was all about the hustle. Burnout almost became like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
But then you get psychologists like Dr. Tim Peichel and Dr. Joseph Ferrari, real pioneers in procrastination research. They shifted the focus.
How did they shift it?
They showed it wasn't just about time management, that final panic. It's the end point of a whole cycle of emotional avoidance. It's where our short-term coping strategies, like watching Netflix instead of working, finally slam into the brick wall of a deadline.
Okay, that makes sense. It's the crash landing.
Yeah.
But why wait for the crash? Why does the brain only hit the panic button at the absolute last second? What's going on inside?
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? It boils down to this internal battle in your brain. You've got your limbic system versus your prefrontal cortex.
Oh.
Think of the limbic system as like the brain's toddler. It's all about emotion, impulse, immediate gratification.
The toddler. Got it.
So faced with a boring or difficult report, the toddler brain screams, "Ugh, this feels bad now. Let's watch YouTube. That feels good now."
Okay, I know that toddler.
Y'all do.
Yeah.
Then you have the prefrontal cortex. That's the adult in the room. Planning, rational thought, impulse control.
The sensible one?
Right. It's saying, yeah, this is tough, but finishing it is good for my career. It'll reduce stress later.
So procrastination is basically the toddler winning the argument.
Pretty much. When the negative feelings tied to a task, fear, boredom, anxiety, maybe perfectionism are really strong, the toddler brain demands an escape. Scrolling social media gives that instant dopamine hit, that relief.
Right. Instant relief.
Yeah.
But where does the panic fit in?
Okay. So the material uses a great analogy from writer Tim Urban. the panic monster.
The panic monster. I like it.
It's usually asleep, this monster, very lazy. The only thing that wakes it up is when the deadline isn't just near, it's terrifyingly close.
Okay.
When the consequences, failing the class, losing the client, whatever it is, become real and scary right now, the panic monster suddenly wakes up and starts screaming.
And that scares the toddler away.
Exactly. That pure panic is the only thing potent enough to silence the toddler and shove the prefrontal cortex, the adult, back into the driver's seat.
And that flood of adrenaline and cortisol, that's the hyperfocus we feel.
That's the hyperfocus. But see, it's motivation born out of pure terror. It's not your peak performance. It's a survival mechanism.
Wow. Okay, so it's not actually better work. It's just desperate work.
Precisely.
So knowing this whole dynamic, the toddler, the adult, the panic monster.
Yeah.
How do we break the cycle? How do we get from panic to, well, peace, or at least steady progress?
Right. And the good news is we can. It's not about willpower or a fancier planner.
No.
No. It's about these small, clever, psychologically informed strategies that lower the emotional hurdle to just getting started.
Okay, I'm ready. What are they?
All right. The material gives us 4 really solid ones. First up, the 2-minute rule. Comes from David Allen.
2-minute rule. Okay.
2 parts to it. Version A is simple. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, just do it right now.
Like answering that quick email.
Exactly. Or putting a dish in the dishwasher. It stops those little things piling up and cluttering your mind.
Makes sense. What's version B?
Version B is the powerful one for big tasks you're dreading. Commit to working on it for just 2 minutes.
Only 2 minutes. It doesn't seem like much.
But the hardest part is starting, right? That initial push. This lowers the activation energy. You tell yourself, okay, just 2 minutes of writing this report. And what usually happens,
You keep going.
you often keep going. Once you're over that initial hump, the momentum builds. 2 minutes becomes 10, maybe 25.
Okay, I like that. Low barrier to entry. What's next?
Strategy 2 is temptation bundling. This comes from researcher Katie Milkman.
Temptation bundling. Sounds fun.
It kind of is. You link something you want to do with something you need to do. But here's the key. You only get the reward while doing the chore.
Okay, give me an example.
So the sources suggest things like, I only get to listen to my favorite true crime podcast while I'm folding laundry.
Oh, okay.
Or I can only watch that trashy reality show I love while I'm on the treadmill.
Right.
Or maybe I'll make that amazing fancy coffee, but I only drink it while I work on the first draft of that presentation.
So you're basically hijacking your brain's reward system.
Exactly. You create a positive association with the task you normally avoid. It makes the unpleasant thing more palatable.
Clever. Okay, what's number 3?
Number 3 is if-then planning, also called implementation intentions, developed by Peter Goldwitzer. This one is super robust, lots of research behind it.
If-then planning. How does it work?
You get really specific. Instead of just, I'll work on the budget this afternoon, you use the formula. If this specific situation happens, then I will do this specific action.
Okay.
Like, if it is 2:00 p.m. on Tuesday, then I will close my email and open the budget spreadsheet for 25 minutes.
Very specific.
Or, if I finish my morning meeting and feel the urge to check my phone, then I will immediately write down 3 bullet points for my report instead.
I see. So you're pre-deciding. You take the guesswork and the emotional debate out of it.
Precisely. When the trigger hits, the plan is already locked in. Your brain doesn't have to argue with itself. It just does the thing.
That sounds really effective. Okay, what's the last one?
The last one is maybe the most surprising. Radical self-compassion. Based on work by Dr. Kristen Neff and others.
Self-compassion.
Yeah.
How does that fight procrastination? I thought we needed to be tough on ourselves.
See, that's the common thinking, but the research shows the opposite. Beating yourself up, I'm so lazy, I have no willpower, that actually fuels procrastination.
Really? How?
It ramps up shame, anxiety, the very feelings that make you want to escape the task in the first place. It's like pouring gasoline on the fire.
Whoa. Okay, so what does self-compassion look like?
It means treating yourself like you'd treat a good friend who's struggling. So instead of, I'm such a failure, you try something like, okay, this is really hard. It's normal to feel overwhelmed right now. It's okay. Let's just see if we can do one tiny piece.
Be kind to yourself about it.
Be kind. It reduces those negative emotions, lowers the barrier to starting, and actually creates the sort of emotional safety you need to take productive risks, like starting that difficult task.
That's actually quite profound. It flips the script on motivation. Kindness, not criticism.
Exactly.
Which brings us to some of those common myths we tell ourselves. Like the big one. I work better under pressure. You hear it all the time.
All the time. Myth number one. And the reality, you work faster, maybe? But better?
Nope, not better.
Research shows the quality tanks. More errors, less creativity. That high you feel isn't peak performance. It's just the sweet relief of not failing.
Ah, relief, not quality. Okay,
Yeah.
myth busted. What else?
Myth two. Procrastinators are just lazy or bad at time management.
Right, the character flaw argument.
Yeah, and as we've discussed, it's fundamentally about managing emotions, not just clocks or calendars. Super organized people procrastinate too if there's underlying fear or boredom they're not dealing with.
It's the feeling, not the schedule.
Got it.
Any other myths?
The third big one. All I need is more willpower.
Ah, yes, just got to muscle through it.
Right, but willpower is finite, it runs out like a battery during the day. Trying to just force yourself constantly is exhausting and often ineffective.
Like holding a beach ball underwater, you said earlier.
Exactly, it's going to pop up. These strategies, the 2-minute rule, bundling, if then they work with your brain's wiring, not against it. It's about strategy, not just brute force.
Working smarter, not just harder, with our own brains.
Okay.
So thinking about the world we live in now, constant notifications, endless distractions, it feels like a huge battle for focus. Technology seems like part of the problem here.
It absolutely can be a definite double-edged sword. But interestingly, it might also be part of the solution.
How so?
Well, we're seeing smarter tech emerging. Focus apps and mindfulness tools that are actually based on science, incorporating things like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT principles, to help us manage those unhelpful thought patterns.
So using tech to fight tech's downsides.
In a way, yes. And workplaces are starting to wake up too, slowly, recognizing that constant last-minute panic leads to burnout. So there's more talk about deep work protecting time for focused concentration.
That's encouraging. Less glorifying the hustle.
Hopefully. And looking even further out, the source material hints at possibilities like neurofeedback.
Neurofeedback.
Yeah, basically using technology to train our brains, specifically that prefrontal cortex, to be better at self-regulating and focusing, making calm, intentional work more of the default setting.
Wow. Training our brains for focus, that's pretty futuristic.
It is, but the core idea is moving away from this panic-driven cycle. We started with that image, right? The frantic all-nighter.
Yeah. Fueled by caffeine and fear.
And we've seen it's not a superpower. It's a flawed coping strategy. It's the sound of that internal battle between the impulsive toddler brain and the rational planner brain reaching a crisis point.
But the really hopeful thing, listening to all this, is that you can change that pattern. You, the listener, you have the power to rewrite that story.
Absolutely. It's not about finding one magic fix.
Right. It's about building this toolkit, this arsenal of small, smart, compassionate strategies.
The 2-minute rule to just get started. Temptation bundling to make it less painful. If-then plans to automate it. And that radical self-compassion to quiet the inner critic.
Using those tools to soothe the toddler brain, empower the adult brain.
And basically put the panic monster out of a job, or at least reduce its hours significantly.
So maybe the invitation to everyone listening is, next time you feel that dread about a task, get curious. What's the feeling underneath?
Yeah, instead of just running away from it.
Try meeting it with one of these little strategies. Just 2 minutes. What could happen?
It's a profound shift. Reclaiming your time, yes, but also your peace of mind.
Exactly. It's not just about ticking boxes and getting things done. It's about finding a calmer, more sustainable way to navigate it all. Getting back the peace you deserve along the way.